Hey people, how's it going? We at Superbike, we've seen a lot of people struggling on track days and out on the roads, the closed private roads, mind you, trying to pull wheelies. It's kind of a basic stunt, really. It has been for years, but it's amazing. People still hurt themselves learning how. They try to do too much too soon. It's never going to work that way. I'm going to try and start you from ground level here, your most basic kind of fundamentals, getting comfortable with the front end, just feeling light in your hands. It's going to be similar to going over a roller coaster, dropping over the top, your stomach drops, you feel, oh no, you panic. You need to get over that, relax, deep breaths, talk yourself through a little checklist here. There's nothing to it. We'll start with your basic roll-on, simple power wheelie. Over to you, Dave. Alright, this is going to be the most basic type of wheelie. It's just a roll-on power wheelie. This is just an introduction, so you're not even going to try and sustain it. This is the first beginning, getting used to the front going light, as they say. So let's give it a shot here. We're going to take off in first gear, accelerate hard, and you're going to see the front end's going to just gently come up, gently roll the throttle off just to set it back down. First gear, take off, open the throttle up. Simple as that. I'm not cracking the throttle open. There's no clutch involved. But if I don't roll off the throttle, it'll flip right over. Your next step is just to simply hold the throttle in kind of a neutral position. Once the front starts to get light and comes up, you just back off a fraction. By a fraction, I don't mean this, I mean this. So here we go, same thing. Take off first gear. Front comes up. You just carry it a few feet further, and each time a few feet further, a few feet further. Take off first gear, open the throttle, front comes up, carry it a little bit further. There's nothing to it.
Cause you know you show no go, yo. Shutting the door and you a man down. You better watch where you're pointing. If you walk in this town, it's gone 0 to 0. Don't lay it on the line, you're gonna need a slide.
Alright, I hope that went alright for you. There's not a lot involved there, like I told you. It's basically, you know, letting the bike do the work, sit back, relax, roll on the power, the front's going to come up no matter what you do. I mean, if you're on it, it's up. So keep that in mind. And now go practice that. Shut this video off and don't bother watching the rest, because until you have that down pat, until you have your throttle control down, until you can carry the front wheel consistently without any of this kind of lunging back and forth and jerkiness, the rest of this tape is meaningless. Roll on the power. That's all you need to know. But if you're comfortable with that, the next thing here is slipping the clutch. Slipping the clutch. A lot of people don't even know what it means really to slip the clutch. I'll show you what it means. I'll show you how to do it. It's your next step. But remember, don't move on until you master the first step. Having said that, step 2, slipping the clutch.
Show no go, yo. Shutting the door and you a man down. You better watch where you're pointing.
To bring the front wheel up, it's going to involve a slip of the clutch and a slight acceleration at the same time. Instead of holding a steady neutral throttle position, just want to accelerate like that as you slip the clutch. And the first few times the front wheel is just going to crust. It's going to come up 3 or 4 inches. Just like that. Front wheel came up 6 inches off the floor. You're just getting used to the sensation. So same thing. You just want to understand that it's going to lunge. Now you can see the front comes up a lot more violent than just by rolling on the throttle. Rolling on the throttle is a smooth way to bring the front wheel up, but it's not really efficient, because you need a long stretch of road and you need to really kind of wind out the gear. It's just a slip of the clutch. You can see the higher you go, the slower your acceleration actually is. And that's all slipping the clutch involves.
If you want for bad luck, you have no luck at all. Take my advice, you're gonna lay So let's get down. Subjective birthday. See you found my way. You're wrong, you just won't go away.
Alright, so now you know how to slip the clutch. Hopefully you're still in one piece after that. And if you're doing like I told you and taking it slow, not trying to move on too fast, not trying to impress your friends or yourself, you'll be alright. Slipping the clutch, that's the best way to bring it up. It's a bit more involved there, but once you can piece it all together, there's nothing else you need to know. People talk about going into top gear wheelies and 150 miles an hour. There's not really any reason to do that. Bikes are happy to stay in second or third gear for as long as you're happy to sit and the road is straight. So here's a little example of putting steps 1 and 2 together, because obviously you can't do step 2 until your step 1 is finished and mastered. This is up at Brunningthorpe, about a 2-mile straight stretch. We took a Phaser 1000 up there and pull up in second gear and sit in third gear basically. And it's this minor throttle adjustments, slipping the clutch to bring it up, and just holding on and being happy and relaxed really. That's about the best feeling you're going to have. So, over to Brunningthorpe, have a look.
Alright, have a look out here. You got a nice straight piece of road. Take off in first gear. Click up into second. You're looking about 4,000 revs. That's anywhere on this kind of big strong bike like this. It's going to slip the clutch, come right up. So here you go, one finger, slip the clutch right up. Now we're in second gear. It's really windy though, so we're kind of all over the place. But sitting at about 8,000 revs. Knock it into third just to, there you go. No clutch though, just slipping it in. So you're about 7,000 revs now, and you can pretty much just kind of hang around there all day. It's really windy out here though, so I'll get the camera. So here comes the crosswind, Brunningthorpe's famous crosswind. It wasn't too bad actually. So now as you look, you bring the front wheel up and the revs will drop down. See? There you go. Pretty much, this bike's happy to sit right in third gear, about 7,000 revs. So as long as you want to hold it there, edge back up to 8,000 there to fight some wind. Now we're going to put the front wheel down here, which just involves accelerating a little bit just before it hits the ground. Just like that. And you're set. That's a 2-mile wheelie of Brunningthorpe.
So that's roughly 2 miles on the back wheel. Sounds like a lot, but it's really nothing. Once you get comfortable slipping the clutch, pulling it up, going through your checklist, be sure to breathe. You know, you can't hold your breath for 2 miles, but just relax up there, and the bike will cooperate all day. As long as you want to stay up on the back wheel, you're fine. Having said that, there's a way to actually slow the wheelie down now. That's using the rear brake. Now, a sad factor of motorcycling is a lot of people don't know where the rear brake even is on their bike. That's their fault, and that's something you need to learn. You need to learn how to incorporate the rear brake in your everyday riding. Riding through heavy traffic is the most important time to use it. Some people, unfortunately, don't even know how. Ask any professional racer on the racetrack how they use the rear brake in their riding. They'll use it to keep the front wheel on the floor. That way they get the power down to the rear. We're going to use the rear brake to keep the wheel up. It doesn't involve anything more than dragging the rear brake for the entire wheelie, applying more or less pressure to raise or lower the front wheel. Having said that, take a look, see how it goes. Start small. Just remember, start small. Too much too soon means you get hurt.
Don't lay it on the line, we're gonna beat this last.